Hey guys, my name's Liam Wetter. Something really cool happens this time of the year with the crayfish, and it plays a big influence on how we catch walleyes, so let me show you. There's a little guy, but it proves the point. On the minnow, that's a mooch minnow, and just a little walleye right there. But the cool thing is, so what happens is in our podcast, Stock Talks Fishing, if you guys haven't listened to it yet, check it out. We did an episode with Tom Brooke Jr, and he's a crayfish specialist, and a lot of our walleyes throughout the summer are up shallow feeding on crayfish, out on reefs feeding on crayfish. Crayfish makes up a big portion of their diet, but around this time of the year, the crayfish actually molt. And so what that means is they lose their hard shell, they become all soft, and they hide in the rocks to stay safe. So the walleye basically switch off from eating crayfish and then move to the vast majority of their diet being minnow species. Doesn't matter whether that's pelagic or actual minnow species, but they eat minnows now. And so that's really cool because there's a fast 180. It's like they go from eating lots of crayfish to eating the vast majority of minnows. So if you know that transition exists, and you can kind of stay timely with it, keep an eye out for it, you can put a ton more walleyes in the boat when you're, fishing close to the bottom, and then, you switch up your presentation in order to capitalize on those minnow feeders. So that's what we're doing right now. So actually this switch that the crayfish do is due to light. It's a matter of light, and it happens during the equinox, which usually lands on the third weekend in September. And that's about now. So our game plan is, all summer long, we use a lot of Ned rigs, a lot of crayfish imitations to catch walleyes. One of my favorite Ned rigs is the new Ned BLT, and then from Crush City. And then right here we have the mooch minnow. This is another cool bait because it's a minnow presentation, but it has these little appendages that's kind of like an extremely subtle paddle tail. Adds a lot of life to your minnow bait. So that's kind of my 1-2 punch is the mooch minnow, which has quickly become one of my favorite minnow baits, and then the Ned BLT. That's my 1-2 punch. We fish a lot of Ned rigs in the summer for walleyes, and then right now you have to have a minnow bait tied on. And because we're not quite at the third weekend of September, and we know that they haven't switched completely over to minnows yet, we're doing a bit of both. And then you'll find one to outperform the other. And then, like, say for example, right now if the Ned rig's outperforming the minnow bait, then good, stick with it. But in the next, not long from now, it's gonna switch, and you're gonna notice that the minnow presentation is vastly superior. So have both baits tied on, fish them both, see which one you're more successful on, but pay attention to the fact that there is gonna be that switch, and minnows are gonna be your dominant presentation. So that's our game plan. All right, guys, well, we caught a bunch of walleyes today. No huge ones, but that's walleye fishing a lot of the time when you find these schools. We did get a really big muskie today though. But it proves the point. I wanted to fill you guys in on this quickly because it'll definitely save you a whole bunch of head scratches this time of the year when walleyes are going to switch off of presentations that you know have worked previously, and it's going to be a really, really fast change. When the crayfish molt, it's basically instantaneous. So keep an eye out for it. Look for it, and then apply it when you see that transition. It'll put a lot more fish in the boat for you, and like I said, save you a few head scratches. So I hope this one helped you out.